There are no failures. There's only quitting. Every single hardship, every single obstacle is going to serve you if you allow yourself to let it serve you. So f what these people think, f their doubts and their criticism and their bullshit and their loser mentality. Put it all up here on your shoulder, and when you don't feel like it, and when you're frustrated, and when you want to quit, take the proper amount out, and the proper amount is the amount that gets you off your ass and gets you executing. Because if you are executing day in and day out, no matter what, there is not a single fucking thing that can stop you. Everybody laughed at me. All my friends, virtually all my family, virtually everybody I know, they laughed in my face, okay? They said things like, that's never gonna work. Who do you think you are? What do you think is gonna happen here? That's not how it's supposed to be done. It's supposed to be done like this. You don't have the skills. You don't have the money. You don't have the connections. How are you gonna actually do this? And those conversations went on for years. And the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I see a lot of you young people out here trying to build something that you believe in, something that you see in your mind and believe in your heart. And I understand what it's like to have those visions and have every single person around you think that you're full of shit. All right, so I want to talk to you guys for a minute. As I just said, this part of the journey is, in my opinion, the hardest part, because you have this idea, you have this dream, you have this vision that nobody else can see. Your friends can't see it, your family can't see it, motherfuckers on the internet sure as fuck can't see it, and you don't have any reason or any credibility to stand on and say, see, I can do this. So it makes it extremely hard. But I want to remind you, as someone who's been down the gauntlet of this process, that those conversations change. And as you become more and more successful, if you are willing to ignore the criticisms of these people, the conversation will start to sound like this. Oh, hey man, are you still working on that thing? Man, that's pretty cool. Man, hey, you think you could make a donation to my kid's softball team? You think you could buy a table for our trivia night? And the conversation starts to change until you say you're going to build it bigger and better. And this was very, very, very much the exact scenario of what it was like for me. My first year, my first day, I sold $7 the first day. The second day, I didn't sell anything. The third day, I sold $23, and it took me 8 months to have a day of $200. So you can imagine what that felt like as an entrepreneur. It felt like failure. All right, I wasn't getting paid. All my friends were laughing at me. All my family was telling me to get serious, get realistic, get a real job, grow the fuck up. And I'm in here every day at my little vitamin shop trying to do the best that I can to make something happen. I'm going out door to door. I'm going up and down the streets. Back then, we didn't have social media, so you had to do things like go door to door. And I'm thankful for that opportunity because it taught me some pretty valuable skills. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, we're all out here trying as hard as we can, and we face a literal tsunami of negative conversation, negative talk, and negative criticisms. And it doesn't always stay that way, all right? As you grow up, as you get bigger, as you become more successful, and as it becomes evident that you're actually going to create something, the conversation is going to change. But by the time that it changes, you are going to not give a shit what these people had to say about it, all right? So if this is you and you're struggling and you're fighting and you're in the fight, understand that facing this issue of non-believers, of critiques and criticisms and negativity is part of the process. And a big reason why people can't build businesses, a big reason why they can't follow through to create success for themselves is because they don't have the capacity to push through this initial phase. And this initial phase is justified. All right? A lot of us blame these people. They blame them for not believing in them or, doubting them. But if we're really honest with ourselves, what have we given these people as evidence to show that we are actually capable of completing the task at hand? We haven't given them anything yet, so they can't believe in it. And since you're the only one that can see the vision and you're the only one that can believe in the vision, how can you blame them? Because they can't crack open your head and look inside and say, oh, there it is. They can't crack open your heart and look inside and say, oh, he has what it takes. They're gonna doubt. They're not gonna believe. Because here's the thing. Stepping outside the framework of normalcy is always going to be questioned because most people live inside that framework their entire lives. And as you step outside and as you venture more and more and more down the own path that you know that you're supposed to go down, you're going to face more and more criticism. And there's two kinds of people. There's the people that win and there's the people that lose. And the people that win have something in common when it comes to this level of criticism. They very simply understand this. Every single bit of criticism, every single bit of negativity, every single bit of doubt, every single negative comment, every single person that says, I can't do this, you fucking won't do this, or this could never happen, those go into a bank on your shoulder. And it becomes this giant chip. And every time you're tired, every time you're frustrated, every time you want to fucking quit, you remember what these people say. And winners understand that this is some of the most valuable fuel that you could ever have. Now, the other kind of people, the people who lose, those people will listen to these people who are bound by the restrictions and the rails of normalcy for their entire existence. And they will listen to the criticism, they will listen to the doubt, they will listen to the hate, and eventually they will give in to that, and they will accept their reality to be one of normalcy. They will step back inside the rails of normalcy so that they can gain the acceptance of all their normal friends and family. AKA, they're going to give up on their whole entire life, their whole entire dreams, their entire future, because they couldn't get past the doubt that the people who are confined to this prison of normalcy for their entire lives put on them. So those are your choices, because anything that you do great, anything that you do outside the realm of normalcy is going to be criticized, and how you respond to that criticism is ultimately going to be what pushes you down the path or forces you back within the confines of a normal life. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a normal life, except if you have those dreams and you have those goals and you have this vision for yourself, and then you sell yourself out of it back into normalcy because you can't understand how to use negativity as fuel. Right now, we live in a society that's very soft, that's very weak, that is very touchy-feely, and honestly, there's a massive opportunity for real fucking killers to go out and win if they can understand that they need to bank the negativity, bank the criticism, bank the doubt, and then draw upon it as they need it. When they're tired, when they want to quit, when they don't feel like it. And guess what? That's most of the time. Most of the time on this journey, you are going to feel like shit. You are going to be overwhelmed. You are going to be stressed. You are going to be tired. You are going to wonder if it's the right thing. That's most of the time. Everybody thinks this is some sort of free and easy ride to the top because we have all these people on the internet who pretend to do that so that they can dig down in your pocket and take your money. That's not reality. Reality is it's fucking hard. Reality is it's going to take everything you got. Reality is if you don't have a big old chip on your shoulder that you could draw from and then have it push you down the road, you're not going to fucking make it. So when you look around and you start feeling bad because these people are criticizing you, because these people are attacking you, because these people are doubting you, I challenge you to flip the perspective to one where you're thankful for that. Because eventually you'll become so successful, you won't have people doubting you anymore. You won't have people criticizing you like that. You won't have people that don't believe. And you won't have that fuel, and you wish you did. So learn how to use it, stay on the path, and recognize that no matter what someone says, no matter who it is that says it, the only way that you can lose on this journey is by giving up. And I know that sounds cliche, and I know that sounds oversimplified, but it is simple. There are no failures. There's only quitting. Every single failure, every single hardship, every single obstacle is going to serve you if you allow yourself to let it serve you. Okay? So fuck what these people think. Fuck what they say. Fuck their doubts and their criticism and their bullshit and their loser mentality. Put it all up here on your shoulder, and when you don't feel like it, and when you're frustrated, and when you want to quit, take the proper amount out, and the proper amount is the amount that gets you off your ass and gets you executing. Because if you're executing day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, over the course of time, regardless of what anybody says, regardless of what your mom says, regardless of what your dad says, regardless of what your cousins say, regardless of what the internet says, if you are executing day in and day out, no matter what, there is not a single fucking thing that can stop you. And keep that in mind, because every single person that you look up to, every single success story that inspires you, every single championship story that you say, damn, dude, one day that's going to be me, they all went through this. Every fucking single one of them. So don't think it's just you. Don't take it personal, but use it as fuel. Because if you can execute, you cannot be fucking stopped. And let me remind you of one little thing before we let you go. If you quit and you do retire back into the framework of normalcy, you know what they're going to say 10 years from now about you? They're going to say, yeah, he tried, but he fucking failed. Just like I knew he would. So you can decide, do you want to go down the path and face the criticism and face the hate and face the frustration and face the pain and use it as fuel and then go on to fucking win and inspire and teach and lift people up? Or do you want to retire into the framework of normalcy